Uh, Morning, students. So, as we all know that in the last class we have completed our beer topic and we started a new one that was wine. So, we have done the introduction to wine and we have done the classification of the wine. Now, we'll be moving towards the one of the type which is red wine, and red wine comes under the category of still wine. If we talk about the classification of wine, so red wine is one that comes under the category of, we all know that, still wine. Yes, so we will start with the introduction to red wine, what is red wine, and then we will move further with the types, like if any type there in the red wine, and then we will move further towards the production of red wine, right? And followed by the moment we'll complete the red wine, we'll discuss white wine and then champagne. So let me open up the PPT. And not so much, like as I have said that like those who have joined recently, let me make like I'll make them aware that what we are doing right now, we are going to start the new topic, which is red wine. And to start that particular topic, let me make you clear that the content that we have already done in the previous lecture and the new topic is quite related to the previous one. So that's why we are doing the revision part. So in revision, we are doing the classification of wines. One classification is on the basis of color, right? And if we talk about the color, red wine could be there, rose, blush, and white wine. So these are the wines that are comes under the category of color. And then if we talk about classification according to the taste, then dry wine, next is sweet, and medium. So dry mean to say no sugar, then sweet, as the name suggests, then medium, not so much sugar in the wine or not so much dry. And the third and last one classification is still wine, right? Still wine mean to say no additional flavor and all, right? Uh, it is the same, like the moment we get or the content we get just after the fermentation, the wineries do not add anything in that particular content, which is known as wine, right? So they do not add any kind of flavor, aroma like this way. So that particular wines are called as still wine. The another name is table wine, then sparkling wine. So if we add carbon dioxide in the still wine, then it will become sparkling wine. So the base is still a wine. Still mean to say something that is not an emotion. We used to call that particular thing as a still thing. So if we add carbon dioxide into still wine, then it will be sparkling wine. Then if we add brandy into it, then it will become fortified. Aromatized, if we add something that gives aroma to the wine, then it would be called as aromatized wine, right? So these were the topics that we have done in the previous class. So now I am going to start the new topic, which is red wine. So let's get started with a small introduction of red wine. What is it? So red wine is, as we all know, that it is just an alcoholic beverage, right? And then which is made by the fermenting juice of dark skinned grapes. So dark skinned grapes mean to say we are talking about the red grapes or black grapes. So red wine is produced by, let me open up, like is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So the red wine is something which is an alcoholic beverage made by fermenting dark grapes. And what about the next point? So red wine differs. Yes, it is differ from white wine on the basis of material. Material, we are talking about grapes and the production process. Because red wine has a different production, not like 100% different, but one or two steps would be different. The basic and the traditional way is quite same if we are making red wine, if we are making white wines. But the only difference is one or two steps that we'll be learning in the further slides. Plus the material we are using for red wine and white wine or champagne and all. So that particular thing makes them differ. Otherwise, rest of the like 90% content is same, production process is same, then mechanism would be same, right? So what second point says that red wine differs from the white wine on the basis of material and the production process we are going to talk. Next one is red wine. As we have discussed that red wine is something which is produced by the dark skin rather than light skin. Because why we are keep on putting pressure on skin, grape skins, because in the last class we have discussed that the pigments, the color used to be released by skin itself, right? If we peel the skin, then there would be lesser chances that we'll get the color in the wine. Got my point? So just remember the topic, which was the component of the grapes, in which we have studied the skin is the only thing which gives color, or which gives 95% contribution of the skin is it gives color, tannin, and by this way, right? Next one is, so during red wine production, what used to be happen? The winemaker allows pressed grape juice, right? Pressed grape juice. So I want you to pay attention on this word, which is written over here. I'm highlighting this word, right? This word is must. So the point is saying that during red wine production, the winemaker allows pressed grapes. I mean to say, we have brought the grapes in the production house. The next process would be just after the screening, just after the like removing the unwanted particles from the grape bunches. Grapes are required to be crushed, right? So that we can get the juice. That crushed material, that crushed content, right? That particular crushed content is known as must. I'm repeating. We have brought a bunch of grapes. We have put the whole grape bunch in a container and we pressed with any material in the same container. Now, what you will get, little bit juicy and pulp skin stock is there in the container. That whole material would be known as must. And that particular thing is very important to get fermented. Otherwise, like if there is like if you'll put yeast without crushing grapes, then you'll get nothing. Now, so to macerate, there is a word, a new word that you'll be learning today, or the process you'll be learning today. Process would not be new. The moment I'll be discussing about the process macerate, you'll come to know that this is what that you have done for so many times, but you are not aware of the technical name of that particular process, right? Okay, so during red wine production, winemaker allows the grape to get crushed, and that particular material is called as must, and then macerate. Macerate is process in which we keep the material or the crushed material little bit aside so that the whole juice, whole liquid content can get the color from the skin, right? So I'm repeating, macerate is a process in which we allow the skin or any material to release the color, and that process is possible by soaking it or by leaving the material aside. For an example, if I talk about any color, mean to say, just to give you an example to understand the macerate properly. We have a cloth that releases color, right? And we have a red cloth that release color. And now what we want that color to be released in water. What process we will do? We will soak that cloth into the plain water, and we will leave that water aside. And after 1 or 2 hours, what we will see, the color will be released by the cloth and it is getting mixed with water. That process is called as macerate. Macerate is something to allow the base ingredient to release the color. Like we allow the base ingredient to release the color and get mixed with the liquid. That particular process is called as macerate. And here we are talking about grapes. So we allow must to wait for some time or to on a rest so that we can get the more and more color out from the skin. I hope my point is clear. Okay, you'll understand, like as I have written properly, I've explained the macerate point in the further slides. So let me complete this one. So once the must is ready, then we will move further towards the macerate process, then fermentation, then with like fermentation, macerate and fermentation, as I told you, which will give color and then alcohol, your wine would be ready. Right. And next, alcohol occurs when yeast converts. This is the, I would say, a common line, an important line that you will give, like you are required to learn this particular thing and keep this thing in your mind for forever. The last line, alcohol occurs when yeast converts grape sugar into ethanol and carbon dioxide. Right? I'm repeating what I'm saying in this line, that if we are producing alcohol, or to produce alcohol, we need a content that contains sugar plus yeast, and then allow for the fermentation process, and then you will get alcohol. So wine is one of my favorite topic because during my college time, like or we can say that during the campus placements, like we group of 4 or 5 friends, like we used to learn this thing. Like one would be learning, like we decided like this way, that one person will be learning red wine, the whole process of red wine, the other would be learning white wine, the another person will come with the champagne, what is champagne, what type of grapes are required, what is the production process of champagne. So we used to meet on a single time, and one by one we'll discussing what we have learned. So within an hour or within 1.5 hours, we would be able to learn, or we got all those red wine, all those wines, because one person has given the idea about red wine, white wine, champagne, fortified, aromatized. So that's why I like this particular topic. Now we'll move further towards the production process of red wines. Each and every wine used to be produced by the very first step. That first step is harvesting. If you're not harvesting, how come you produce the any content, any wine or anything that you are going to produce? So the first step would be harvesting, and you brought the grapes, the bunches of the grapes in the production house, and then your other step would be destocking. Destocking means to say that you are required to destock the stalks are to be removed from the grapes. that particular process is called as destocking. So just I would I would say that you must pay attention towards the components of the topic. We have done components of grapes. Component of grapes, the first step was stalk. Stalk mean to say a stem that allows the grape bunches to get connected with the main vine. So destocking process, and then crushing. As we all know that without crushing, we cannot allow the fermentation process to be happen. Then fermentation process. Fermentation process, we all know that it is possible just by adding yeast and allow it for some time. Yeast reacts with the sugar and two things will be produced, alcohol and carbon dioxide. Fermentation equals to yeast plus sugar, right? And if we go further, then equals to alcohol and CO2. Maceration process, in which we keep the material inside the content so that we can get more and more color out of the skin. The next step is pressing. Yes, that pressing is required because in this step we are required to separate the solid material. Then aging, then malolactic fermentation. This is also called as second fermentation. Filtering, because during the first step, destocking, we do not there are two methods to destock. One is manual and another one is through any machine and all mechanical method. So mechanical, if we are talking about we have a big number of grapes, then manual process is quite difficult and it is time consuming, but the quality would be different because we are picking one by one with our hands. And if we talk about mechanical it reduces the wastage of time, right? And it saves the energy also, but the quality would be little bit different comparatively to the manual one, because mechanical or machines do not remove the stalks properly. So which gives that which gives the chances in the wine that we can get some unwanted particles, so that can be removed in the later on process. That process is called as filtering and fining. The fining is same as in the beer. So next one is blending. Blending is like we all know that there is a machine or equipment present in every kitchen, I would say, blender. So blender used to do, the mechanism of blender is that it revolves so fast, and which makes two or three things. Why we use blender? To mix one or two things together. So blending over here is same one, right? We need to mix few wines, and the reasons could be that the production of grapes were not up to the mark. So we used to blend the present wine with the old wine that is so good, that was so good at its time actually, right? To meet the standards we used to blend. Or sometime like what happens due to the presence of alcohol, it gets evaporated during the aging process. For an example, if you have produced 10 ml, not 10 ml, 10 ml, just with an example, like we have produced 1 liter wine, and after aging process, that wine will be reduced just because of the evaporation process, right? Just because of the evaporation, due to the presence of alcohol, it get evaporated. So to meet the quantity, and then we need blending. Just give me a moment, students. Okay. What I was talking about, we were learning the production process. So we were on blending. So after blending, our wine is ready for the bottling process. bottling and then labeling, and your wine is ready to reach to the, like we can say that the wine lovers. Now we'll cover these steps one by one. So can anyone tell me what would be the first step? Students, what do you think that if we talk about the production of red wine starts with which step? I hope I'm audible. I'm asking that red wine.
Crossing.
Yes.
Crossing.
Harvesting, sir.
Harvesting.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, sir. Harvesting after that.
Yes, correct. Harvesting. So this is simple. Harvesting is, it's quite simple. फसल को लेकर आना, that process, उसको cut करना, that process is called as harvesting, है ना? So without harvesting, we cannot produce anything. Even we are producing red wine. It's so simple, right? So we require to harvest first. So now I have written some points related to harvest. So harvest can be done by two methods. This is the thing that we'll cover. So grapes are picked when they are ripe. This is very simple, that when it is required to harvest or pick the grape, once they are in a ripe form, usually as determined by taste and sugar. And because like this thing can be possible or can be judged by some experienced, skillful person, they used to examine the field timely, proper, after proper intervals, right? And the moment they feel that grapes are properly ripe, then they allow the harvest process. If you remember our first lecture or second lecture related to wine, there was a point that if we harvest the grapes in early stage, what will happen? We will not get the more sugar content or sufficient sugar content in the grape berry, right? And if we allow the harvest like later on, like in the just after the ripened stage, or we have crossed the ripened stage, then what will happen? Most of the, again, like we will not get the sugar. Reason behind the sugar, most of the sugar will be consumed by the wine itself. So it is very important to pick the grapes in a right time. And then harvesting can be done by both way. I'm sorry, by both way, mechanically and manually. And one thing that we all must know, that manual process, wherever the manual process would be, then one thing is clear, that you will get the quality product, but maybe like energy, and like we need to compromise with energy and time. So that's why we use mechanical things that are suitable for large vineyard. So there is another word that you are learning, vineyard. So vineyard means to say the fields of grape vines are called as vineyards, right? So if you are pointing out a field of grape vines, that field is known as vineyard. So if anyone has like large amount of vineyard, and mechanical process is required to harvest. Next point, stemmer or crusher, which is de-stocking, or like that the first step that we have discussed 2 slides back. So in this process, what we used to do, we remove the stem. We remove the stem from grape bunches and crush the grapes, but does not press them. Remember this thing, that in particular process, that we do not press the grapes properly, we just crush it. In simple word, we just break the grape berry. so that the pulp can come out and juice can also come out slowly, right? So that particular process, which is stemmer and crusher, in which we remove the stem and stalk is the same word people used to call, like we can interchange these two words. So stem and stalks are required to remove and then crush the grape berries. Now again, we can crush the grapes by 2 or 3 methods. And if you remember, like previous slides, I have shown the pictures of the crushers, like which kind of machines we are required. I'll show you later on. And like what are the machines that are required to crush the grapes, right? So this helps in fermenting by getting exposed to the yeast. So what will happen if you break the grapes and pulps will come out, right? And a little bit juice will be coming out slowly. So by this way, fermenting, like you are making your grapes ready for the fermentation process. Now crushing also helps to impart the color, as we all know that, because we have not removed the skin. Skin is there in the content. So by this way, we'll get the color also. So crushing can be done by following ways: hydraulic, revolving, right, cylinders, and pneumatic bars. So I'll show you that what all machines are like look like. Even I have shown in the previous slides also in the previous lectures. So moving further, some use the old method. The old method is foot pressing. They place they put the grapes in a big container, pool-like container, right? Or a big tub in which like people go inside the container or the pool kind of container that we are talking about, and they are wearing big shoes, a boot kind of, right? The same like the boots look like some people used to wear in a rainy season, right? So they look like this, and each shoes have some spikes underneath, and by this way they start pressing or crushing the grape berries. So this is the traditional method. Foot pressing. Earlier, like one more thing which is very important, earlier they do not wear any shoes. They just press the grapes with the bare foots, right? And then as like technology goes up, so they started wearing shoes with spikes and so on. Then the technology goes like evolution is there in the technology. Then what happens? Then hydraulic, then revolving, then cylinder, and so on. This happens like this. Next one is crushed grapes are known as must, that we have already discussed. I'm repeating. Now we have crushed the grapes, little bit juice is there, color is getting released, and now that particular mixture is called as must. Now must is ready for the fermentation process. So fermentation process, I'm repeating the same line in which the fermentation like equals to yeast plus sugar, we will get alcohol plus carbon dioxide. So yeast turns the sugar in the wine, right, into carbon dioxide. So there is a particular temperature required, as we have already discussed, that if we will raise the temperature, if the temperature will be more than 32 degrees Celsius, then yeast will not work. So if temperature is quite less, right, very cold, then again yeast will not work. The desired temperature is 24-25 degrees Celsius. This is the best temperature to get the good results. So we are required to add yeast in the must. Now I would be using the term must. So it is done in the wooden or stainless steel tank. So there are two methods like we have received the must and we convert or like we transfer the must into the wooden tanks or stainless steel tanks in which we will add yeast. And related to this point, we have we have discussed that point also, that there are two types of yeast: natural yeast and the one that we use to produce in the laboratories, right? So natural yeast is another name of natural yeast. We can say that wild yeast. So the white layer on the grapes, that white layer is called as wild yeast. So it is there in the grape during crushing. So fermentation starts in that step also, because some amount of yeast was there in the crushing step, that was wild yeast. Now as it was quite less, so we are required to add some more yeast that we produced in the laboratories so that we can start fermentation process. Now there is another point. During this fermentation process, again I would say that pay attention to the topic that we have done, faults in wine. So faults in wine may be like what all things are there that spoiled our wine. So during fermentation, we all know that what will happen, we'll get alcohol plus carbon dioxide. But along with it, some bacterial contamination can also be occurred, right? So what will happen if anything bacterial, fungus kind of things will happen or will get produced, then that will spoil our wine. That may convert our wine into vinegar. So we are required, this is very, fermentation process is not as simple as we have discussed, but we are required to pay attention in it. Again, experience in the skilled workers, they used to look after it. So we have must is crushed grapes. So we have added yeast, we let it we have kept it aside. Now what will happen, we need to check after proper interval. If there is bacterial contamination, so we are required to stop it. Now what all the things that we can add sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide will do what? That will kill bacterial contamination. So bacterial contamination can be occurred due to the wild yeast, because as I've discussed that the grape berry, the white layer on the grape berry is wild yeast. So due to that wild yeast, so bacterial contamination, the possibility of bacterial contamination would be there. So we are required to kill it, otherwise our wine will be spoiled. Now again, there is a adjoining point. Sulfur has a pungent smell. So as we have added into wine, now it is like 100% surety that our wine will be giving a pungent smell just because of the sulfur. And again, that is not acceptable. So in the next process, we are required to remove the sulfur also. That will be done in the filtration and fining process, in which we will remove that particular pungent smell or any other particles. So every point is correlated to each other, and every point has its own benefits or features. Now next point, unfermented must contains 24% of grape sugar. Unfermented must mean to say the must that you have received just after crushing the grapes, right? And that must is called as unfermented because fermentation has not been done yet. So fermentation, in that stage grapes contain 24% of sugar. Now what other point says, so if there is less sugar, what will happen? Because if there is less sugar, then yeast will not convert a good amount of alcohol, because we all know that yeast can only work if there is sufficient sugar. So if there is less sugar, then we are required to add some more sugar, natural sugar, right? And so that fermentation process can take place. Now there is a term, if we are adding sufficient or like extra sugar, that particular process is called as chaptalization. Right? I'm repeating. Like your question would be why there is a need to add sugar. So my answer would be because there was less sugar in the grape juice. And your question, next question should be that what are the chances that grapes contain less sugar? So as I told you, we have harvested, maybe we have harvested in early stage 1. Maybe the atmosphere was not suitable according to the grape field, right? And the care has not been taken properly during the field. So these are the chances, or these are the possibilities. That's why we got less content of sugar in the grapes. So in this case, we are required to, because we all know that by this way, I would say that there is a learning, even a life learning also present in this particular line. Problems can be like we cannot stop the problem, but we can get the solution. So if atmosphere was not good, but all you can do nothing. Like we all can do nothing if weather is not up to the mark. If raining is like if it's keep on raining, what we can do? Nothing, right? But yes, later on we can do some more steps to resolve it. So over here, there is a term which is known as chaptalization, which is chaptalization is a process in which we add natural sugar in case there is less sugar content in the grape, or if it is less than the 24% of sugar. So to get 12% alcohol, again, there are some figures that are required to learn. If we need 12% of alcohol, the sugar content must be 24%. So just to make you aware, in a wine bottle, the alcoholic content is around 12 to 15 or 16, 17. Like it goes like this way. The varies used to be like this way, right? 12 to 17 or 18, this much percentage. So if we are required to get this much alcohol, then the sugar content in the grapes, or like we need to balance the sugar content, or we are required to reach the sugar content at 24%. Then only we will get 12% of alcohol. I hope my points are like I'm clear to you. Just acknowledge me, anyone from your side. Are you getting the points that we are discussing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You may ask question if you feel to ask, right? Because I believe that like we all know that this is the first time that you are learning this particular topic, subject, right? So questions or curiosity would be there, so you may ask things. Now, the next question or next point related to this fermentation process, that there is a proper meter present in the market or in the wineries, which gives the exact figure of sugar content present in the grape. That particular meter is called as saccharometer. So saccharometer is something that gives the exact figure or percentage of sugar present in the grape. Now, red wine needs more temperature to get fermented. So these are the things that makes it differ from the other wines. So to fermentation, we are required to give more temperature, to make more temperature kind of atmosphere during fermentation process, because temperature helps to get the color from skin. So it's all about the color, like how one can say that this particular wine is a red wine. Like if I would pour a glass of wine, and how can you say that this particular glass of wine is a red wine? Just with the help of color, that yes, its color is red, that's why it is the red wine. One is the major and the common point. That is, like other steps would be different, but the initial step to check which kind of wine it is, that is color. So to allow color or to get color from the skin, we are using, as of now, we have used how many methods? 3 methods. The first one is we have not removed the skin. We allow the grapes directly with the skin. This was the first method or first step to get the color from the skin. The second step was maceration, right? And the third step is that we have raised the temperature so that we can get a good color from the skin. So these are the steps we are doing just to release the color to get the more color. So required temperature is 22 to 25 degrees Celsius, 22 to 25 degrees Celsius. So this is the best temperature in which we'll get a very good red wine. Fermentation will be good, right? And we'll get 12% alcohol or more than 12%. And we'll get a good color from the skin. So alcohol content, after fermentation, we'll get the alcohol content 15%. Right? So now moving to the next step, which is maceration. So maceration is, this is the process in which must is allowed to keep for some time. And why we do this thing? There are some below points. So paying attention to the first point, that maceration is a process in which must mean to say that we have already discussed. Now must is fermented. So now fermented must is allowed to keep for some time, to keep aside, right? We will not touch it for few hours or few days, we can say that, so that we can get the color, a proper color out. Because just after the maceration process, we are going to separate the solid material. So maceration, that's why maceration is required. We are giving one more chance to the grape skin or grape pulp to release the color. This is what like maceration says. Because just after the maceration, we are pulling out, we are removing the solid particle, and then we are going to use only liquid material. Now, why maceration is required? Because in this process, we get a good color, flavor, and tannin. Tannin, like as I've said, that tannin is something which gives some bitter kind of taste, acidic taste is called as tannin. Now, again, like if there is less attention to the maceration process, mean to say, if we have kept the must for longer time, what will happen? It will give a bitter taste. So if like just vice versa, if there is shorter time, then we'll get a thin wine. Thin wine in terms of consistency. Again, this is a major point that makes the red wine differ from the white wine. The consistency of red wine is quite thick comparatively to white wine. White wine is thin kind of texture, right? Or the consistency, I would say the best word is consistency. And the red wine is something which gives a thick consistency. So again, like maceration is something which requires proper attention so that we can get good color, flavor, and tannin. I hope maceration is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the next step, pressing. Now just see, like we have a big container in which crushed grape is there, wine liquid liquid content is already there. Now we are required to remove that solid content. So what we will do, like, let me make you in simple language. Just give me a moment. Pressing is something, by the end of fermentation, even by the end of maceration, the new wine lies in the bottom. The new wine. Now, just see that the word must is over. Now we have started using the word wine because our wine is ready. So the new wine lies in the bottom of the vat. Vat is the container, the another name of the container. And the solid material floats on the top. Solid material mean to say the grape skin and the pulp, which will be floating on the top of the container. Now, the new wine is, there is a term, new wine is called as the French word vin de gué, right? Vin de gué. So, like I would say that do not pay attention to the pronunciation in the starting, just just focus on the spellings. So the new wine is called as vin de gué. Next, the wine obtained by pressing the solid material. As I told you that we are required to remove that solid particle, solid material. So once we will be removing the solid particle, it has to be pressed to get full out of it. To get full extraction, we are required to press it. So that pressed material or the pressed liquid is called as when they press. I'm repeating. We have a whole container. Just see, like I have a glass of water, right? See, like just imagine this is the wine that we have produced. The new wine would be settled in the bottom, and the solid particle would be floating on the upside, on the upper layer of the glass, right? So the two methods are, we can press the content, we can put pressure with a machine, and the pipe is connected beneath, and while we are pressing the content, like the wine would be strained and the liquid content will be sampled. One method. Another method, we can remove all the solid particle from the upside, right? And we can do the pressing process in another container or in another machine. So in another machine, we are pressing the solid content and we receive the liquid material. That liquid material or content would be known as when they press. Now the leftover material, because we have already extracted all the content, all the liquid, mean to say all wine, out of the grape pulp, skin, stalk, seeds, right? And now that leftover material is used to be, we can say that given it is required to produce the local wines, or it can be sold out to the local wineries. And the spirit also, which is brandy. So leftover material contains, what is leftover material? It is crushed grape, whole grape, which contain stalk, skin, seeds, pulp, right? The leftover material. Now the wine is ready for the maturation process. Now our wine is ready for the next step, which is maturation process. Can anyone tell me the another name of maturation process? What is the second name of the maturation process? Okay, any idea what is going to be happened in this process? What is there in the maturation process? Any
Keep
idea?
wine for long period of time.
Okay, yes, we are going to keep the wine for long period. Yes, true. So the another name of maturation process is aging, right? Another name or the word can be interchanged with word aging. So these are the points that are required to write down, and by this way you'll be preparing your notes. Now maturation process, another name is aging. So wine is matured in the oak barrels. Oak is a tree, and with the help of that particular tree, people used to make barrels. Barrels are a big container, right, in which they used to mature the wine. Now, related to this point, most of the alcoholic beverages they are required to mature in the oak barrels. There are few reasons. The one reason is generally what happens, like the wine right now, the wine stage is called as a new wine or young wine. If anyone drinks the young wine, it will give harsh taste or harsh flavor, right? Like you can easily get the alcoholic uh, content or alcoholic flavor while one is gulping or one while wine is drinking, right? Like the person is drinking the wine, I'm sorry. So to give a mellow taste, right, to give a smooth taste, it is required to mature. So mature, if anyone used to or going to mature the wine, then they used to mature it in the oak barrels because it has a quality which allows or which makes the wine mellow, smoother. Third thing is it gives vanilla flavor, right? So oak is like wood that gives vanilla flavor to the alcoholic beverage. Similarly, if anyone is putting spirits into it, then again it will give a mellow taste. So you will be learning spirits in the later on classes. So my point was why we are using oak barrels. Reason is to give mellow taste, vanilla flavor, and to give color also. So these are the things that are required. That's why we used to age in the oak barrels. Nowadays, the another step is also happening just in the terms to take care of the nature, right? So people have started using stainless steels because we all know that we must take care of the trees, plants like this way. So people are using stainless steel also, which is quite cost effective, but the taste that the taste of a wine that is being matured in oak barrel and the wine that is matured in the stainless steel, the taste is quite different, right? Because in stainless steel, no one can get the vanilla flavor. So moving further, some wineries, as we have discussed, some wineries use stainless steel to produce lighter wine. And yes, this is again a very important point. If anyone is doing aging process in stainless steel container, then the wine would be lighter. So oak barrels may charred or toasted or air dried. Now again there is a new point, new word, charred. Charred or toasted. What is it? With the help of oak wood, they produce a barrel, a container, right? A drum kind of container. Just imagine, like even I have shown the pictures already. I have shown the picture in previous slide, just to those who have joined today. So it is a drum kind of structure or container. That container is burnt from inside, right? I'm repeating. People used to burn or they used to burn from inside and gives the black color. Like as we all know that once the wood will be burnt, it will become dark or it will become black. That particular process is called as toasting or toasted barrel or charred barrel. They used to burn from inside and then they put wine into it or any spirit into it. So what will happen after that? If you'll remove that wine after 1 year or 3 years, you will get a wine with a smoky flavor, right? And air dried, like some people do not want to produce smoky wine or smoky alcoholic beverage, so that can be dried through air. The major process is to remove the moisture from the wood, the major process. So if we are using charred method or toasting method, then what will happen? There would be a layer inside, and by this way, the moisture from the wood will not come in contact with the wine that we are putting in. So if we will be using air dried method, again the process or the reason is same, that moisture from the wood can be extracted or eliminated so that a wine would be safer. Because if moisture will come in contact with the wine, then there are chances that wine can be spoiled. If oxygen will come in contact with wine, then there are chances that wine can become vinegar, or it may spoil, may get spoiled. So to stop these things, we are required these particular methods to do. Now, next point, oak barrels gives the delicate flavor to the wine. As we have already discussed that what oak barrel used to do, it gives delicate flavor, and some wineries mature the wines for 6 months. I'm sorry, there is a mistake. It is for, not fro. So some wineries used to mature for only 6 months, but some go for 3 to 4 years. So they keep the fermented wine in the oak barrels for 4 years, right? And during this step, what will happen? Wine will get mellow flavor or mellow texture. One, it will get the color also. Two, third thing, it will get the vanilla flavor, maybe, right? And fourth, some of the wine content will be evaporated, that we have already discussed. Okay. And people in France, they used to term, or they used to give a special term for this particular thing. For an example, if I like the same example that I have given in the starting, that we have produced 1 liter, and after 4 years we have we have brought only 900 ml. Earlier it was 1000 ml. We have received only 900 ml. So that the difference of 100 ml is being evaporated. It gets evaporated. And people in France, they says that that particular share or that particular difference is called as angel share. The angel usko le gaya, right? The particular difference. So this is the term which is related to it. Angel share, the amount of alcoholic beverage that being evaporated or that gets evaporated during the maturation process is called as angel share. Now moving further. So stainless steel is also becoming, as again, like we have already discussed this point, that people have started using stainless steel also because it is cost effective, and like there are no requirement that we like related to oak barrels, that it has some shelf life, right? If you have put the wine for last 10 years, then what will happen? The oak barrel also start like it start giving the same flavor to the next wine. So we are bound to put the same kind of wine into barrels, because it absorbs the flavor color like this way. But stainless steel, there is no way with like this kind of point related to stainless steel, because we are stainless steel are quite easy to wash. If you have put a particular wine for 10 years, and now you have removed that wine, now the stainless steel is ready for any kind of wine. It is like there is no boundary or there is no foundation that we are required to put the same kind of wine that we have put earlier. So next is malolactic fermentation, which is known as second fermentation, takes place during maturation process, right? no nothing big happening in this point. So we have put the wine into big barrels, and second fermentation will take place in the same process and during the aging process. That particular fermentation is called as malolactic lactic fermentation. What generally what will happen due to this second fermentation, wine will become more smoother, right? Palatable. Palatable mean to say, like, the moment anyone will sip that wine, it will give a smoother taste to the palate. So this is all about the malolactic or second fermentation. Next is filtration and fining. Now, this point is quite related to the first step and second step. Even I would say in all of these steps, because during harvesting, there are a lot of chances that foreign particles can come. There are many chances during the destocking process. Sometimes what happens that whole stalk is not removed, so stalk and stem is keep on going. Even the point, the step, there was a pressing step, some amount would be there in the wine, and we have added sulfur also in to remove or to kill the extra yeast or to kill the bacteria contamination. So to remove all these things, we need the filtration and fining process. So filtration is, so during fermentation process, wine gets cloudy, yes, because what happens during the maturation process, during the aging process, wine gets the cloudy texture, right? And common very fine particles, like mean to say small particles can be present in the wine, like maybe torn out from the oak barrel, right? So small particles can be there in the aging process. So that solid particles or unwanted particles are required to be removed through the filtration process. In simple way, like people will filter out the wine and then fining, whereas fining makes the wine clear. It is same as the beer production. Fining, can anyone tell me fining used to be done with which material?
Isinglass.
Correct, Mohammed Vash. So isinglass is the material or the content that we requires to clean the or to clear the wine, not clean, to clear the wine, to give a bright texture. Now, what is isinglass? Isinglass is the gallbladder of a fish. Which fish? Sturgeon fish. Or in simple words, if we talk about the basic material, which kind of material we require? That material which contains protein. We can use any kind of material that contains protein. And what is it? We have this, we can discuss. Egg contains protein, so over here we can use egg to clean or to clear the wine. Gelatin, isinglass, right?